Well, hi everybody. Let's take a look at one of the key ideas in calculus. Let's take a look at the idea of the derivative of a function at a point. This is one of the biggest ideas that calculus offers. If we get this, we get a whole lot, and if we don't get this, then a whole lot of the rest of our semester just doesn't make sense. So let's make sure we've got it. Here we go. Let's define derivative at a point. The derivative of f of x at a point x equals a. It is denoted f prime of a. That's how it's read. It's read f prime of a. It's a little apostrophe. It's a raised comma. And it represents the slope of f of x at x equals a. It is defined as the limit as h approaches 0 of f at a plus h minus f at a over h. That's f prime of a is the limit as h approaches 0 of f of a plus h minus f of a over h, provided this limit exists. Now, I'm going to go magic pen for a moment. This should ring a bell. And it should ring a bell because this thing here is the slope of a secant line. And we have done slopes of secant lines. You should be saying, I thought we were done with that thing. But oh no, we are not even close to done with that thing. Because what our derivative does, what the concept of a derivative does, is it takes the limit of a secant, and by letting h get closer and closer to 0, turns that secant into a tangent line. Some verbiage for you. The following are all equivalent. If we talk about the slope, I'm going to go back to pen. Sorry, folks. If we're going to talk about the slope of the graph, that is the same as talking about the slope of the tangent to the graph. The slope of the graph and the slope of the tangent to the graph are exactly the same. The slope of the tangent tells me what the rate of change is at a particular moment, and that rate of change is by definition a derivative. All of those terms are interchangeable. I can give you any of them, I can ask for any of them, and you've got to know that they all refer to this limit. Those four are all the same. So that is the key idea for the lesson. If you have that, you have a lot. Time now for some algebra. Find f prime of 3 if f of x is x squared minus 4x plus 3. Now, what do we mean by f prime of 3? We mean the slope of the tangent line when x equals 3, or the slope of the graph when x equals 3, or the rate of change when x equals 3, or the derivative at 3. So, let's do this. F prime of 3, by definition, is the limit as h approaches 0 of f of 3 plus h minus f of 3 over h. Well, the over h part is easy. And then, okay, I'm going to substitute 3 plus h. That does not say 3. That says 3 plus h. We're going to sub in 3 plus h there. 3 plus h squared minus 4 times 3 plus h plus 3. And then minus f of 3. Well, f of 3, that's 0. Time for algebra to take over. I know how to expand brackets. I'm pretty good at distributing. That's just kind of left over, all over h. Now here's what we hope happens at this point, and it happens so often. Here's what we hope happens. We hope that the 9 and the 12 and the... oh, they do. They do. They do. Oh, that's great. And then everything that's left... everything that's left, that's 6h minus 4h is 2h Oh, see, because now h's cancel. Oh, that's really cool. And that's really cool because as h gets closer and closer to 0, this gets closer and closer to 2 plus 0. F prime of 3 is 2. Oh, that is glorious. That is glorious. If you're interested in just a wee little bit of challenge, and by wee little bit, I mean a wee little bit, go ahead and right now, wherever you're sitting, try to figure out f prime of 5. Take some scrap paper, something right in front of you, maybe something that's on the desk nearby, and run through these algebraic steps to figure out f prime of 5. And when you're ready, we'll hit the button. No, really, hit the pause button. Okay, f prime of 5 is, did you do it? 6. Just another thing to have handy. Put a little cloud around it. It's really going to throw off the people who are just looking at notes and not at videos, but whatever. Okay, so one more, just to show off the algebra just a bit. Find the slope of y equals 1 over x squared at the point 2 comma 1/4. 2 comma 1/4. Well, I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking, let's, what this is, I'm looking for some derivative, which means this is probably some f of x. I'm looking for f prime of 2. And f prime of 2 is a limit as h approaches 0 of f of 2 plus h minus f of 2 over h. This is f of 2 plus h. This is f of 2 over h. So this gets really weird unless you know how to work with fractions. And the way we usually work with fractions is we multiply numerator and denominator by a good common denominator. And we say, okay, I've got a limit as h approaches 0 of 4 minus 2 plus h squared over 4 times h times 2 plus h squared. And algebra again to the rescue here. I won't take you through the process of foil oiling that out. That's negative 4h minus h squared over 4h times 2 plus h squared. Still useless to try to sub in 0 because the numerator and denominator are both 0, but we can remove one factor of h from everybody and get negative 4 minus h over 4 times 2 plus h squared, and now that's much more useful. If I sub in 0, this drops out and that drops out, and I'm left with negative 4 over 16, and so I say that the slope at x equals 2 is negative 1/4. And if you're interested, you can take a moment and figure out what the slope is at x equals negative 1. Go ahead. I won't. I won't do it until you hit the pause button. I'm assuming you hit the pause button. So one thing you may want to know how to do, you may want to find the slope. Oh, let's do even better. Let's find the equation of the tangent line to g of x equals radical 2x plus 7 at the point 1, 3. Now, you and I both know that how this goes is I know how to write the equation of a line. It's y minus y1 equals x minus x1 multiplied by the slope. And then you're going to put a big box around it. And so the question is, what is that slope? That's a very important question. And so in this area over here, you're going to figure out what g prime of 1 is. And I'm going to let you work all that out. And then after you hit the pause button, you're going to work all that out. And then when you're ready, hit the pause button, well, the play button or whatever button you hit, and then we'll give you the slope. Ready, go. And you're back. I hope you got 1/3. I hope you did, and if not, you should check with somebody who knows. All right, this is a big idea. I hope some things are coming together for you. We'll see you soon.